front of the Western Sydney Community Forum elders, I'd like to welcome you to country. I'd like to welcome you to my land, the Gundungurra land, and Western Sydney Community Forum's International Women's Day event. This year, the theme, Choose to Challenge, is something I've been looking forward to and something I'm sure all women have. We need to let people know that women are important people and that we need to be heard and listened to and taken notice of. So please, everybody, have a good day today. Thank you.
Hello, my name's Billie from the team at Western Sydney Community Forum, and thanks for joining me for International Women's Day 2020. And hello especially to Aunty Carol Cooper and Aunty Jacinta Tobin. With respect, I acknowledge you as extraordinary women on this local land, and I acknowledge the land on which I stand, the Darug land, and I pay respects to you, Aunty Carol and Aunty Jacinta, and all elders past, present and of course future on this land. So Aunty Carol and Aunty Jacinta, I mean, I've had the opportunity to see you choose to challenge, and that has inspired me. And it's women like you and many, many more women, past and present, that have been calling for gender parity for about 110 years, at least formally. And you know, what we know from global data is that me, my daughter, and probably my granddaughter will not know gender parity in our lives. And that's why this year in 2021, we are choosing to challenge, because as we know, from challenge comes change. And Western Sydney Community Forum always chooses to challenge this year, last year and every year. And this year in particular, we're really excited about International Women's Day because we're going fully digital. And what we'll be doing is releasing stories every day from women and men from Greater Western Sydney who choose to challenge, and they will be sharing their stories, recognising how far we've come, but also highlighting all those things we still need to do. And there's plenty to celebrate. I mean, we have 40% of our managers in this country are women, and that's been increasing. Employers have now put in place flexible work policies and strategies. We're at about 75% there, which has been an improvement. And in education, more women than men for a number of decades now have a degree, and that's been improving from Gen Xers. Shout out to Gen Xers, that's my generation. But there's plenty of challenge. Women still earn less than men nationally. We're still earning about 15% less. We are still not in, whilst we're in that middle management role, we're not in those CEO roles. There's only about 18% of us in those roles in this country. So despite the gains in education and in middle management, those higher order financial independence and leadership roles are still far from anywhere close to where they need to be. Of course, safety, on average, one woman is still murdered each week. 10 women approximately are hospitalised each day, and 1 in 3 women in Australia have experienced physical violence since they were 15. These figures are not shifting, and they relate to gender parity. And of course, we saw just in the last week or so in Parliament that, you know, physical and sexual assault. So you're not even safe in the Parliament of Australia. And talking about Parliament, Australia was leading the way 100 odd years ago when they first saw not only the value but the civic right of women to be part of the civic and public decision-making process. It took about 40 years after that to actually get a woman elected in Parliament, but we're still hovering at around that 25% mark. And Australia went from being about 30 in the world to now being about 50. So we're regressing, not progressing, despite the gains that are being made. So this is why in 2021 for International Women's Day, Western Sydney Community Forum and I are choosing to challenge. I know how important it is to choose to challenge. I have experienced, you know, being in rooms in my private and my public professional life of people rolling their eyes when I might mention some matters around gender parity, or being shamed, or being told I'm over the top. But I know that from challenge comes change, and that is why I choose to challenge for gender parity. So join me choosing to challenge, and goodbye for now.